The reason is Father is going to expand it after my technical. Good evening, brothers and sisters. Good evening. Sister Norma Acaba, and I took my Cursilio on November 2001 at the Holy Redeemer Retreat Center at Oakland, California. Cursilio number 64, the Curia of Immaculate Conception. Tonight's SOL is a sponsors workshop, and we will be talking about the selection of candidates, those who should go, those who can go, and those who should not go, and the sponsors' responsibilities. The selection of candidates. The Christianization of environments depends on the proper selection of candidates. The criteria for selection must always be based on the effectiveness of the candidate as to live in his or her environment and circumstances. Select candidate who in your judgment will persevere in the spiritual lifestyle and will work in their homes, offices, parishes, or wherever they are at to lead others to Christ. A variety of backgrounds, people of all social and social classes and economic levels. These people are not necessarily the ones to occupy the highest positions or who are better established. They are the people whose decisions count. Their opinions carry weight and their activities exert influence in their environment. Those who should go. Those who are already functioning as vertebrae of their environment should go. They are those persons whose opinions count and whose attitudes move. Persons who do not make use of authority, but because they do something more transcendental, they are influential. In order to see whether they are real vertebrae and not merely apparent ones, we must determine whether or not they have strength of character, self-control, able to make their own decisions, self-motivated, responsible, and a capacity of humility. The criterion for selection will always be the effectiveness each one will have as a vertebrae for Christianity. In order to find out who will be the best people to vertebrate Christianity in their environments, we must love all of them as we seek to discover their capacity of thought. It will be necessary to take into account the spiritual advisor's advice and help of the brothers and sisters of the group reunion that comes into play. For the Cursilio, we must seek those who have strength of character and self-control, who are able to make their own decisions and who are self-motivated, mature, free, and responsible. Those who are vertebrae, leaders, self-starters, and movers. Those have the ability and desire to live in and for the community with Christ and for Christ. Always remembering that they are able to understand the message and commit themselves. To be living of the gospel within the environment. To discover the individual charisma and place them at the service of the community. Those who can go. The average Catholic can go because of the Cursilio enhances them from whatever point in life they are. Those who are in a position to receive the sacraments of the Catholic Church or could become so can go. In addition, the group reunion helps them find their place of evangelistic service. Keep in mind, that the Lord has His ways. And at times, individuals who we thought were not right for Cursillo are transformed into vertebrae as they experience the encounter with themselves, with Christ, and with others. Once the response personalities have been uplifted by God's grace. Those who should not go. Those who should not go. Those who have psychological or emotional problems. Brothers and sisters, the Cursillo weekend is not designed to be a cure-all for those experiencing personal problems. Those whose moral life is contrary to the teachings of the Catholic Church. Those who cannot receive the sacraments of the Church. In case of the candidates who belong to other religious denominations, we must follow the direction of the guidelines of the National Secretariat. The National Secretariat disallows the participation of non-Catholics in the Catholic Cursillo activities. They are encouraged to join other renewal programs, including Cursillo, available to them within their own denomination. There are other denominations that they have also Cursillo, like the Episcopal, the Lutheran, they have also a Cursillo. The Cursillo movement holds in the highest regard the sacrament of marriage. When approaching married person as an individual or as a couple, and recruit both at the same time, we need to determine whether both are eligible to attend the Cursillo, or if both are interested in attending the Cursillo weekend. Tell them that the wife will attend first and the husband to follow. If something would prevent an individual or one spouse from attending because the individual is not eligible due to marriage, the sponsor should contact our spiritual advisor, Deacon Steve, or Father Joe, or of the Cursillo movement to discuss the situation. Sponsors, know your candidate as well as possible and pray for the direction from the Holy Spirit. I will repeat again. Know your candidate as well as possible and pray for the direction from the Holy Spirit. Remember to speak to God about others before speaking others to God. You should be a member of a group reunion. Show your candidate how to be a Christian by the way you live your life, love your family, care for your neighbors, and speak out for Christ. Make sure, that your candidate application form is totally completed. Go over the application form with your candidate. Ask him or her to fill out the candidate section, sign it, and return to you. Make sure the candidate understands that information will be kept confidential. Complete the sponsor section of the application, sign it, and attach the registration fee. Submit the completed application to the pre-Cursillo chairperson. Explain the Cursillo weekend. Answer questions that your candidate might have. Explain what the facility will be like, sleeping arrangement, etc. The dress for the weekend is casual and dress up on Sunday. Always keep in close contact with your candidate before the weekend. Make sure he or she has transportation to and from where the Cursillo will be held. If you cannot transport your candidate yourself, make every effort to make sure the candidate has another person to ride. Try to ease any fears or anxiety that the candidate might have before the weekend. Make certain that the candidate's family is informed and knows the candidate well on Sunday evening, that will return on Sunday evening. Support your candidate during the weekend. Do offer palanca prayers for your candidate. If you are not serving the weekend, at least attend the closing, the Sunday closing. Have your candidate participate in the follow-up Cursillo activities. Bring your candidate, graduate to the Ultraya, assist and make sure he or she finds a group reunion. Sponsors, it is your responsibility to make sure your candidate feels welcome at all Cursillo activities and is supported in his or her apostolic endeavor for at least a year. It is a must-have as a sponsor to buy this blue booklet. It is a sponsor's booklet. This is the guidelines where you know your duties and responsibilities and, you know, in selecting a candidate. It used to be $1.50 last year. Now it's $2. The national secretary increased the inflation. So de colores. First, I would like to ask Sister Faye, because we're doing a different thing and in doing our medical information, you know, for the weekend. So that this is also for the sponsor should know about the candidates, about the insurance of the candidate.
Thank you, Sister Norma. Just very briefly, you're very familiar with your candidate application form, and in it there's the medical information that is kept confidential. However, we will also ask your candidate to fill out another form. This is the authorization for medical treatment. The reason is that in case of emergency during the weekend, we cannot actually give the candidate application form to everyone. The reason there are so many information here that has to be confidential. So that we have a separate one, and it will be revised. We will give this back to the 3-day committee to let us know the medical insurance, doctor's name and number, list of medication currently taking, as well, very important, allergies. Because you might be allergic to any medications, any drugs, any food, or even to a person. However, we have an antidote for that person. Okay? So be assured, they will actually, the antidote, you want to know? Yeah. We will cure them with love. Okay? So that's very important that you as sponsors also know the medical information about your candidate. So we will get all this authorization for medical treatment form in a binder. Sister Norma and I will prepare them. One binder with 2 tabs, one for the candidate and 1 tab for the servers. In case of emergency, at least we're not only taking care of the candidate, but as well as the servers. This will be given to the Chief Medical Officer of the weekend in collaboration with the rest of the medical officers. So all of us will be given this form. Thank you.
Any questions for Sister Norma? That's not clear. Mother Willie?
Did you mention about the palaka from the family to the candidate? You did not.
Because that is not in our the national guidelines, so we, you know, you can go and get a palanca for your family, for the family.
So you didn't mention it, right, on your talk?
No, I did not mention
Okay.
it because I just mentioned whatever is the requirement in the national secretariat.
Can we add the Filipino style
yes.
requirement on that thing?
So whatever we practice, we start doing that.
But we should make sure people know that, because that's a serious responsibility. It doesn't matter whether the national says it or not. We do it on our weekend. So, I mean, all sponsors should know that. Everybody knows that, right? You get the family palancas and you bring it to the weekend. Yeah, we all need to know that.
But it was never mentioned.
Huh?
That's why I'm trying to stated that they would.
Well, that's fine. That's why I'm repeating it, because,
Correct, okay.
yeah, we have to let people know.
Okay, so we need family palancas, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Any, Sister Gid?
Isn't it a recommendation that the candidates be invited in one of the prayer group or team meeting before they even attend?
I think that's a great idea.
It would be easier for
Yeah.
Cecilio
Yeah.
to show them that this is what we're doing.
Right. You're doing a great job. Yeah, invite you, anybody you'd like to sponsor for the weekend retreat, invite them to your group reunion team. So it's one way of also of letting them immerse into your group. Who else? Somebody? Mr. Victorio? Yes, my love.
How old and the candidate to be?
Is there an age? The age? Is there like an age limit?
You know, as far as I know, we have 18 years old, you know, we have 18 years old, but the youngest is 18 years old, but the oldest, I don't think we discriminate. We do not discriminate.
Especially there are a lot of seniors, like for myself, I'm senior, so I probably, my target would be seniors that are going to be, but make sure that they can still work. No, wheelchairs because I don't think they have wheelchair access to the,
They do, they have. That's why everything.
yeah, so make sure that they can still walk. Brother Nick?
In my Concilio, I had one candidate in wheelchair, and he graduated.
Oh, you graduated.
Yeah, that's Hipólito, Brother Hipólito.
Okay, who else?
This question was raised many years ago when I was chairman of the what do you do if the candidate you are trying to recruit tells you that they're already Cursilistas because they attended the junior Cursilio in the Philippines? And my answer was that doesn't count. Junior Cursillo does not have the numbers that we have in a regular Cursillo weekend. So if you are told that I am already a Cursilista, I attended the junior Cursillo in the Philippines, just tell them that doesn't count. If there's a junior Cursillo, there is a Cursillo proper. So you're just entering the doorstep to the real Cursillo. Thank you.
Thank you, Brother Mike. Okay, last question, anybody? Before we call on our beloved speaker. No more? Okay. Everybody knows about sponsorship, right? Okay, now, thank you, Sister Norma. To let you know that Sister Norma has been doing it for the last 3 years as a pre-cursive chairperson. She's doing a marvelous job along with her members. Sister Fe, who are all the members, Sister? Sister Sheila.
Sister Shirley Encarnacion.
Sister Shirley Encarnacion. Thank you so much for being involved with the pre-cursive committee. Anyway, now we'd like to call on our beloved Father Joe Arong with no introduction. And we love him very much. And his birthday is April 14. Please keep him in your prayers for good health.